Alright guys, so let's take a look here on game number 4. And finally we do have a very clowny map here, Arena. We do have Spanish here for Andy against Burgundians for Lewis. Okay, so Burgundians have a great, crazy good economy. Spanish can actually play conks and monks. Once again, let's not forget, this is sudden death, so only one TC play. Perhaps in the only one TC play, Spanish got the leverage because they probably intend to play with unique units, conquistadors, perhaps missionary, and all of those units can actually be quite troublesome to the Burgundian units like the Costelier, the Cavalier, so all the best units from Burgundians should actually suffer against those units from the Spanish. So for the Burgundian to actually do something, it will have to be on the economy. As you can see, Lewis already has both double BX and horse collar since Dark Age. His first farm around 7 minutes already benefits from horse collar. He's just eating the chicken like one by one, while Andy actually went for the chicken funnel, so he's just trying to get all the chickens on the TC with the use of the funnel. Interesting, it seems that Andy might actually be going towards monk play here. He's setting up blacksmith and market up. There goes, blacksmith, market, and oh no, forget whatever I said. He's transitioning now to the castle drop into conquistadors by sending 8 views to collect stone after clicking up. Is he gonna have enough stone by the time he reaches castle age? I don't know, perhaps he'll have to wait a bit. About Lewis, he's going for a stable opening, a classic from the humans, a classic from the Burgundians, and his goal is probably to take out relics. Every relic for a human player is the equivalent of 3 villagers, 1.5 in the gold, 1.5 in the food. So collecting relics here is a big way for the Burgundians to boost their economy. And there goes Andy, he did indeed had enough resources here for the castle. I don't know about his farming eco, he might have to buy some conquistadors in the beginning. And he's already trying to seek these relic for himself and might try to fight for these other two. Lewis, guys, is not yet on castle age, so only now he's starting to make monasteries, but he is already going towards double monastery. He knows he's against unique unit, and his answer is to play double monastery. Alright, so he's trying to watch out for that relic. He does want to deny the relic to Andy. Oh guys, sorry, I said Spanish. I'm so sorry. I'm getting crazy here. It's Portuguese. I don't know why I thought about Spanish. I don't know. It's Portuguese against Burgundian, so organ guns. Okay, that changes everything, guys. Oh my god, unbelievable, huh? So organ guns are actually a pretty decent unit. They kind of fire multiple projectiles, so even without ballistics, they ended up hitting units anyway. Once you have a small mass, you can actually get very good fights against enemy cavalry, as you can see here. So I think that as Portuguese, he will be able to get several relics. He doesn't need a whole eco here to support his unit, just a few in order to do that, but the fight for the relics is real. Oh, very good from Lewis. He did left a monk here to snipe, a light cavalry here to snipe the monk. Andy has one relic, Lewis has none. Lewis is trying to go for the relics, he's playing double monastery against the Portuguese that play organ gun and well, I don't know how this will go for Lewis, honestly. Organ guns are pretty decent against these low HP cav. A small group is already very scary. See? Even trying to dodge, you are eventually gonna get hit here. But oh, Lewis has already redemption. So he can actually try to convert those organ guns. That's pretty good, pretty decent. He's taking a relic. There comes the organ guns and he snipes a monk. There comes more organ guns. He's trying to push the enemy monk and he shoots the cavalry and he's about to snipe the monk. Unbelievable. Great play by Andy here with the organ guns and also with the scout cavalry. He's now dropping more monks. Lewis is having a lot of trouble. His monks didn't yet had all the upgrades, but even now, after all this investment, they are still not being able to convert enemy units, man. He has lost all of his cavalry. The cavalry was pretty much useless, guys, once the organ guns were on the field. Damn. Now he's going towards the stone, and he has a good eco. But the thing is, Relic War here is 2 in favor of Andy against 1 in favor of Lewis, and it's actually going towards a 4-1 Relic scenario. There comes the 3rd Relic for Andy, and the 4th Relic is right now in the hands of Lewis, but it's far away from his base, and there are like way too many organ guns walking around. Damn, this is gonna be hard for him. Lewis is already on the way to Imperial Age. He did have a very good farming eco, so he probably plans to play monks here and drop a forward castle, huh? Interesting. There comes the... no, not forward, rather defensive castle. Okay, okay. Andy's already setting up a good economy. He has like 20 farms, that's like a lot of farms. So he probably is planning to click to Imperial Age. Honestly guys, I will give my 2 cents. I think that this is like a very good scenario for the Portuguese. I mean, both players are going towards Imperial Age, both players have several monks and other units here on the center, but by the time Andy's reach the Imperial Age, he can start making Feitorías, and once he has multiple Feitorías here, like 1, 2, 3, he will have like twice the economy from the Burgundian, and the Burgundian is not going to catch up because the Burgundian here, he cannot go for like more TCs. So basically Andy is gonna open a huge economy advantage here versus Lewis. That's my bet here. So Lewis actually has to push in a very intense way to deny Andy to transition into some other army. And there he comes, he's getting all the monk upgrades, starting to convert some outposts from his opponent. Let's change to his point of view. He's starting to trap and send more monks. Uh-oh, there comes Andy for the counterattack. Or maybe not yet. Oh my god, look at these organ guns. Way too much organ guns, and they are just... and he's converting several monks, he's also pushing here. Honestly, this castle might not even go up. Damn. That's way too much military here for Andy. Way too much military. Yeah guys, Lewis is dead. He's trying here to hold, he's trying to do something, but as I said, if we go towards Andy's economy, there he is making first Feitoria, second Feitoria, he just needs a lot of houses and then he's gonna be able to drop Feitoria number 3, number 4, and Lewis is never gonna catch up with the economy. Playing against Portuguese in this game mode is terrific. It's something you don't want to do. I remember playing, I think that's Portuguese here on this tournament in the previous version on Arena as well, and I did succeed. It was exactly this matchup. I think that I just messed my army and I didn't even push. I just defended and wait for the Feitoria to kick in. You don't even need to attack, and they can even assume a more defensive approach here until he does manage to drop another unit to support. He can start making arbalests, he can start spamming like light cavalry. With the echo from the Feitorias, everything is possible. Alright. So Lewis is trying something. He's making a transition here into Russar. Remember guys that as Burgundian, all stable upgrades are cheaper. So light cavalry is costs like 100 resources, and Russar upgrade is a lot more affordable here, only 250 foot. So it's easy to transition to Russar as Burgundians, but the Russar itself doesn't have a bloodline, so the maximum HP it got is like 75. Multiple conversions here for Lewis. Uh-oh. My goodness, he's barely getting anything here. He's just losing monks. I think that freaking Andy already has like heresy or something. Oh my god, look at the economy here from Andy, guys. But he's totally unaware about the Russars. And there is the problem. He's already adding pikemen, maybe he sensed something. He's going for a conscription, arquebus, dropping here, archer ranges, hand cannoneer. There goes Andy. Andy might actually try to snipe at least one trebuchet here. That's very intense. It's a very intense fight. Andy's adding more castles. He's trying to wall to deny access to these resources here from Lewis. Lewis is trying to push, but that's a single trebuchet, guys, and Andy is already transitioning into hand cannoneers and bomber cannons. There comes the fourth Feitoria, guys. Guys. Andy has right now like twice the economy from the Burgundian. This is like the worst scenario you want to be as Burgundian. You have an economical sieve and you are behind on economy. Yeah, guys, and Lewis calls the GG. Honestly, I think that if you're playing against Portuguese, you cannot allow him to reach Imperial Age. If he does, Feitorias. And in this game mode, you cannot catch up on the economy using town centers. To be honest, even in a regular game, that would be so hard to deal with. Imagine on this mode. And that's it, guys. GG. Alright guys, let's go here to game number 5. So here we have Lewis playing as the Gushers versus Andy playing as the Italians. The map that they are playing here is the Aqueduct. Sorry, Well Springs. Damn it, why not Aqueduct? Anyway, the map is called Well Springs, and the unique thing about this map is that there is an aqueduct uh, connecting the two players. You both are born walled here. There's gold inside, some regular berries, some boars, but none of those food resources is gonna be used. And the reason is there is a 30,000 food shorefish hidden here on the basis of this aqueduct, and that's for both players. And if you are familiar with this source of food, you know that it's collected faster than any other. So what players are actually going to do here is just maximize their food output by utilizing only this source of food. 30,000 is a lot. That's enough for a very long game. But there's something that I didn't mention. The aqueduct that connects both players, well, it has like 1000 HP on each tile, but there's a glitch mechanic, there's something special about the aqueduct. If you kill any tile from the aqueduct, so let's say that you kill this specific tile, the whole thing blows up. Yeah, that's how it works. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense. If you do break one tile of an aqueduct, it's just gonna stop working. Well, let's suppose that that's some poetic stuff. Anyway, if the aqueduct blows up, it means that you might gain like free access to your opponent base, and once you kill the aqueduct, this source of food vanishes from the map. So from this point on, players are actually going to do different stuff like moving towards the boars, the berries, start farming. So someone has to decide that they need to attack the aqueduct. If players just do not kill the aqueduct, they can just keep using the source of food like forever. And honestly, once you have something like 10 villagers on that, you can pretty much go for a fast castle because that's all the food you're going to need. Because of this mechanic of the aqueduct, some players like Lewis are using Gurjaras as their civilization. For the ones that are not familiar with the civ, with the Gurjaras, you can place like a chip here on the mule, and it will just keep generating food, which makes things very interesting here. Because even if the aqueduct falls, you still have a small source of food that will keep delivering food for you, and you can even use the ship here to accelerate your up. Anyway, Gurjaras also have access to the Siege Elephant, with honestly, and all the mounted units from the Gurjaras also deal extra bonus damage to the buildings and units. So basically, you have the best melee siege unit of the Castle Age. As for Lewis, he's playing with the Italians. What I find interesting about Lewis is that the Italians can actually counter Gurjaras big time. And the main reason is they have access to the Genoese crossbowman. And the Genoese crossbowman has bonus damage versus anything that's mounted. So Gurjaras, good mounted units. Italians, bonus damage versus anything that is mounted on their unique unit. So Genoese crossbowman is the killer of the plan of anyone's plan. That's honestly one of the most annoying civs to play against on the ranked ladder if you're playing team games especially. Often you are probably thinking about going for some kind of cavalry unit like a knight, like a Mangudai, like a conquistador, like a camel archer, like a Korean wagon, like many others. And then your plans are just frustrated by this archer guy that takes down cavalry. So very indeed unique. There's a small thing about the map, the stone is always on the outside. There's no stone inside, but Andy did scout the map, did found out some stone here on the outside, and he is taking the stone here. He did build his mining camp, he did build some houses and palisades, and he's successfully taking out stone. By the way, this foundation here counts as something blocking here the passages, so this is part of his wall. So very good, well played by Andy. It seems that he's setting up a game to play with the Genoese crossbowman. As you can see for Lewis, with only his 10 villagers collecting the food here, he already has mastered way too much food here, and he is already on the way to the Castle Age, as soon as he builds his second building. So he's going with a market, now he's dropping his stable. No house for Lewis, he might actually need a blacksmith if you want to start making siege. And for now he's just populating and dominating the map here with his scouting units. And he goes for a very conservative castle in front of his town center. He's already going for the university, which I find quite unique. He already upgraded both Fletching and now Botkin Arrow, so he has the maximum attack for his Genoese crossbowman, and now he might actually go towards ballistics. Remember that Italians have cheaper ballistics. All the upgrades from university are cheaper, so he only needs 317 resources to research ballistic. A lot less than the regular cost of this upgrade, which is 475 resources. A very expensive one indeed, but he's not gonna miss arrows after he does that. Moving targets are going to be in trouble, and there he comes. Damn. A few shots and the light cavalry is nearly dead. Camel is being targeted here. This camel has no escape route. Not against ballistics. So basically, he's just gonna delete any melee unit that shows up here. And that also means that the elephant here from the Gurjaras is also going to suffer because of that. Lewis is transitioning into monks. Honestly, I find this a very good idea because monks are great versus unique units. You can just convert them. If you had like 3 monks versus like 6 archers, you just convert 3 archers and kill the archers with your recently converted one. So it's pretty much a good deal to go monks, and he already has Sensity, so he has more HP. There he goes. If Andy doesn't retreat, he's just gonna get converted, so the monks so far are doing a good job. The problem, guys, with going monks as the Gurjars is pretty simple. If you check their tech tree, they do lack block printing, so you cannot increase the range of your monks during the Imperial Age. So you cannot have access to 12 range monks on Imp, and that's a lot. So basically, it's very difficult to see Gurjars trying to manage using monks during the Imperial Age. And trying to finish this game on Castle Age might actually prove to be quite difficult because there's an Italian with a castle in front of his town center, and your best siege from the Castle Age is an elephant siege, which means that it does take damage. It does take like a bonus damage by the Genoese, so it's going to be very difficult. Lewis actually has to go to Imperial Age and try some big play like dropping a castle on that hill and then traveling down the town center. The aqueduct is down, guys. There's no more aqueduct here for those guys. And is very close from clicking up. As you can see, he did mass up some resources. He still has all his ship that he can try to take. He's already taking the boar, so I think that with only the resources from this boar, he might be able to click to the next stage. Let's see. He's very close from clicking up, and once he's on Imperial Age, he can upgrade his archers, increase their attack, increase their range, add siege units such as the trebuchets. As for Lewis, well, he's about to click as well. So both players are going to the Imperial Age. I'm just concerned about Lewis' army composition. I mean, what's the answer that you have versus the Italian Genoese? Uh-oh, big fight. Light cavalry are nothing, they can be ignored. The monks are barely managing to get 2 or 3 conversions, and the monks are all dead. So even on Castle Age against like a massive number of archers, Lewis had no chance. Just to remember, his cavalry units were pretty much useless here. But he's making a castle, he's dropping some archer ranges, so perhaps he's planning to transition into elite skirmisher. Maybe even hand cannoneer. Oh no, it's elite skirmishers. Uh-oh. Forward castle here from Andy. Guys, I'm going to be honest. These outposts from Lewis are great. They are just giving him way too much map knowledge, but that's just a small detail. There's a castle on his face, there's a unit that he cannot counter. Things are not going good for him here. He's trying to counterattack with his own trebuchets, starting to make the skirmishers. Damn. That's terrible. There are Genoese on the other side blocking his gold as well. I think that the only way here for Lewis to win is to try and snipe the TC. Like coming here, taking down some wood like this one or some palisades and go inside and kill the enemy. The problem is, without the castle, he has no access to petards. So it might just not happen that he does manage to kill the enemy. Andy is aware of this push with the trebuchets, and is also doing a great job here with his own outposts. So he knows what's about to happen, and he does send villagers to try and counter it. His army of Genoese crossmen is also going towards his opponent. Yeah, that's very bad. He has like to kill this wall and hope that Andy doesn't spot that. Perhaps, guys, perhaps if Lewis had like 2 petards, he could have tried to sneak, kill the walls with a petard and then snipe at the town center, but this, guys, is just over, and meanwhile his TC is under siege by multiple trebuchets hitting from the hill, so this means that Lewis is dead.